Hey, yo, what it do, family? This is Ayyoojwatchthis. Watch this. And I wasn't throwing up gang signs, so let's not get that out there. All right, but we here with the bright side. Who created nothing? Who created nothing? Our universe from. My bad. I am. Whoa. Who created nothing? Our universe formed from. My bad, y'all. I sound like I'm like dyslexic. I'm just all over the place right now. So excuse me if I botched that and I sound like I was like from kindergarten. I didn't know what the hell I was saying and shit. I know how to read. Let's get that straightened. But yeah, my bad. It just looked so weird to me for some reason. But let's get to the video though. Let's see what happened in this one, and let's see how things was created from nothing, and formed into the universe.
How was our universe born? And if this seems hard to answer, then how about this? What was before our universe? While scientists are looking for the answer to the most difficult question in history, let's find out what they've come up with so far. In the 20th century, we've shed the light on this mystery, all thanks to this man, Edwin Hubble. One day on Mount Wilson in Southern California, he aimed his telescope at the sky and found out that these random clouds of gas flying everywhere are actually other galaxies, and there are a lot of them. And also, he learned something else, something that changed the world forever. They're moving. So what, you may ask? Well, it meant one very important thing. The universe is expanding, and if it's expanding, then it probably had a beginning somewhere, right? Now, all we have to do is run time backwards and see where the beginning was. It took the scientists many more years to come up.
Not to pause it real fast, but I just had to say something. You know that I was watching a video before, and you know them like he said the clouds were like other universes. So I was watching the video before, and it was basically telling me like them other universes have other planets in them. Like there's other planets in that universe. Like how ours is, like how our things are, sun, all that stuff. And that same other universe, that other little galaxy thing that he thought was a cloud was really a universe, or like a galaxy, whatever type of thing. There's other planets in there. Like there was other planets that's in there, and I thought it was weird because it was like, I thought it was weird because I'm like, how? But I thought about it too. I'm like, it can't be the only universe like out here. Like we can't be the only one in the universe like out here in space. Like we can't only have our own like little shit. Like it gotta be other multiple planets like us, but we just don't know. Like I don't know, man. When you get into this space shit, it gets weird. So let's keep on going, man.
With a full-fledged theory, the Big Bang Theory. And here it is. Nothing has ever been anywhere because neither when nor where existed. Do you get it? But actually, no. There was one thing. It was the so-called cosmic singularity. A state of our universe in which it was incredibly small, dense, and very hot. Imagine if our universe was compressed into a small ball. The pressure and temperature inside would be enormous. At some point, it became impossible to withstand them. And here comes the Big Bang. It was an outburst of energy and matter that created everything we see now. Time and space, basic physical forces. It also scattered quarks everywhere. These quarks, tiny particles that make up our world, were all boiling in an incredibly hot cosmic broth. When it cooled down, gravity began to attract them to each other. They gathered into atoms, then molecules, and then into the first objects into the world. stars. And all this happened just some 12 to 14 billion years ago. Alright, now we know how our universe was created, but what was before that? Alan Harvey Guth, an American theoretical physicist and cosmologist, has devoted his whole life to solving this.
Y'all believe in that Big Bang Theory? I ain't gonna lie, I always had some questions about that Big Bang Theory. Like, I don't know. I always had some questions about the Big Bang Theory. Cause to me, I don't know. That just holding the whole space, and that space is still expanding and still growing. So it's like this big ball of energy was just in a dark world out there. So it's just kind of made me like, I always thought about that. Like, so it's like this big ball was just out here, but by itself, or with other, or was it with other balls of energy out there? Like, it was just out here in this dark matter type of world, just completely dark, silent, and this big ball of energy, boosh, and over time expanded and made multiple planets, a sun, a black hole, stars, and eventually made a world that can be able to have animals and humans on it. I might be tripping, I might be on some high shit, but I don't know. That always just kind of caught me off guard, because it's like I don't know about all that. Sometimes I just don't know. Sometimes it just kind of make me think like how, in a way. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping though. Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all really think about what y'all think about the Big Bang Theory?
After learning about the Big Bang Theory, Guth found some flaws in it. For example, the distribution of matter was very even, although it shouldn't have been. Let's hang a balloon filled with paint to the ceiling and lay a white canvas on the floor. If we drop the balloon down, it will burst and we'll see absolute chaos on the canvas. A bunch of spots scattered everywhere randomly. Neither is like the other. But that's not really what the universe looked like. Instead of throwing a colored ball from the ceiling, let's draw a small red dot on the canvas. Now, let's expand it a little more, and capture this all on frame-by-frame shooting. We'll see a circle gradually growing in all directions. That's the reality. The early universe was very even and proportional. That was Guth's discovery, the theory of inflation. Here's what it says. Even before the Big Bang, there was some kind of force that could give the bang a strong acceleration, something that was able to distribute everything in space instantly and evenly. Guth's theory was a success, and now most scientists rely on it. For most of them, this idea of the birth of the universe is quite enough. For most, but not for all. Martin Bojewald is a German professor of physics, and, in his opinion, the universe was born quite differently. Remember when we talked about cosmic singularity? The state of the universe in which it was small, infinitely dense, and super hot. According to Martin's theory, the singularity couldn't just appear out of nowhere. This is nonsense. But then, where did it come from? Let's look at a pendulum on an old clock. The pendulum rotates back and forth. Its movement is smooth, continuous, and non-stop. This is how we usually see time. It flows and never stops. But quantum time, quantum time doesn't work that way. It's more like the second hand of a clock. It consists of small segments and makes short pauses. And just like with the second hand of a clock, the beginning of one segment of time is always the end of another. See what I'm getting at? Let's go back to balloons again. According to the Big Bang Theory, once upon a time, our universe began to expand, inflate like a balloon. But sooner or later, it will blow away back. The universe will start shrinking and return to the state of cosmic singularity. And then guess what? The Big Bang too. Nothing appears out of nowhere and disappears into nowhere. According to Ayyoojwatchthis' theory, the beginning of each universe is the end of the previous one. Our universe is not at all the first and not the last. Millions of similar universes existed before us and will exist after us. This theory, although it sounds very logical, is far from complete. Unfortunately, we don't have enough knowledge to find all the evidence for it.
So basically, he's saying that before our universe came, there was another universe before that. But how did that make any sense? Because it's like, if it's another universe besides us, how did that universe just end up like it just end up disappearing and giving us room to have our universe? So that means eventually our universe will end and another universe will be coming after us. It's like it's gonna restart itself back over. But that means it's like like it seems like the universe is on a time limit, and after a certain time limit, that universe gets sucked up and restart itself back over, low key. But I don't get that. See, it's just like, it's one of them things like we kind of would never really know what was before us, like before this shit, like before the Big Bang Theory. Like, they can only just go off of like guesses and shit. But it's like, to me, I always wanted to know like what was before our, like, the Big Bang Theory. What was the Big Bang Theory? Yeah, I can believe in that. Like, I can kind of believe in that a little bit. You know, the universe expanding, but all that in just one big bubble of energy, where the fuck was they floating at? So if we take away all the stars and everything out of the universe, just take all the stars down and then just a pitch black dark canvas, take the planets, take the sun, that was with the big ball of energy of the Big Bang Theory was just floating around in. And then boof, like, I don't know, man. When you get, like I said, when you get heavy into this shit, it's just kind of like, dude.
But some people come up with even stranger ideas. Scientists promote such unusual theories that no one could even think of. Neil Turok, a South African physicist, and his colleague, Paul Steinhardt, an American theoretical physicist, look for answers far beyond our universe. They say that yes, our universe isn't the first one. There have been and will be an infinite number of them. And not only will there be endless Big Bangs, our universe is just one of an infinite number of others. And all of us are stuck in a cycle of endless rebirths of parallel worlds. This sounds incredible and frightening at the same time. But how does it work? According to this theory, our universe is located inside a so-called brain, as in membrane. In other words, we're stuck in some kind of elastic surface that's capable of contracting, stretching, oscillating, and so on. Like pieces of fabric on a rope, these parallel universes are located near each other. Each one has a neighbor. We're not the exception. Another universe may be an inch from ours, but we can't see it. That's because there's a tiny space between us, and this tiny space contains the fourth dimension. How do these universes originate? Through brain collision. These brains are getting closer to each other very, very slowly, until one day they finally collide. Their collision creates two Big Bangs and two parallel universes. Then they're moving away from each other. The created worlds continue to live. We're currently at this stage. But when they disappear, the brains collide again. And this will lead to the birth of a new universe. Remember the inflation theory? There was a mysterious energy that pushed and accelerated the Big Bang. Well, if we did collide with another universe, that would explain everything. Of course, everything described here is a great simplification. When you hear that our world is some piece of fabric on a rope, it sounds like complete nonsense. But this idea is based on string theory and M theory, two giants of quantum mechanics. If they turn out to be true, they could explain almost everything in our universe. Creating a theory is an incredibly huge process. Turok and Steinhardt made a huge amount of calculations and swept away many, many non-working theories. Also, to work this out, they have to overcome the limits of the human mind and think in 11 dimensions at once. Unfortunately, this crazy and elegant idea was laughed at. Turok and Steinhardt say that scientists are regular people, just like everyone else. They're also afraid of change and the unknown. And it's really scary to question everything we once believed in. Many years ago, people didn't believe that the Earth was round. Then they were outraged by the Big Bang Theory. We can't make discoveries without struggle and fear. That's why Turok and Steinhardt don't plan to give up so easily. After all, the evidence that we have now only says that each of the three theories is equally possible. So which answer is correct? We may never know, at least not at this stage of human development. Unfortunately, as long as we have no evidence, we can only theorize. But maybe one day we'll find something that will open our eyes once and for all. Maybe one day we'll solve the mystery of how our universe came to be.
Oh man, that is something though. I really when it comes to science shit, I really be a nerd in that shit. I really like that shit. I always been wondering like how bro, like how did this shit even, like how did our universe come here? Like how did it even form? Like it's a weird thing to talk about, and I think a lot of people just don't want to start thinking about it, because then a lot of people get into the thoughts of, oh man, well this is just kind of like an AI type of situation type of shit, like, you know, this is like a big dream type shit then low key, like we or like we like, you know, are like we in a simulator. And that's why a lot of people be coming with the simulators, honestly, because a lot of people come up with the simulator because it's like shit like this, something like the Big Bang Theory. Then you trying to wonder how the world and the planet was all created and stuff like that, and how it was formed. And a lot of it just doesn't like really make sense. It doesn't click. Like it doesn't, like some of this shit doesn't click. And it's like, dude, like, because I'll be hearing stuff too, like videos and shit, that there's other universes out there that, like I said, have other planets, and there's other planets out there, and we hear about it and be like, there's another planet out there that is like Earth form, but it's so many galaxies away that it'll take so many light years to get there, that we would probably be like the people that trying to get to that other planet be fucking dead probably when they come back. They probably, and the whole world probably different by the time. So it's like damn, how do they know it's these these planets so far away and shit, but we can't even get to them niggas? And there's planets out here that we have not even got to check out in our own solar system. And it's like, yeah, we send probes out there, machines and shit, and it's just like, it's really some shit don't even come back telling us no shit, like low key. So I would really like to see how the Earth really became, like how the universe became the universe, because a lot of shit just don't make sense, man. A lot of shit just don't make sense. I know I just be trying to think like, man, how, bro? Like, I don't know, man. I start getting too deep in this shit. We gotta have some real deep ass conversations about this shit, because I do this on a daily sometimes with my friends and stuff. I get into stuff like this because, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I'm the type of dude that be trying to think like, how did this all happen? Like the Big Bang Theory, from the dinosaurs dying to how was men and women, how was human even form on this world? How did that happen? And animals came on this earth before us. So how did we become human? How did humans become human, low key? Like, how did that shit even, like, how did we evolve into humans? Like, you know, I done heard we came from monkeys and chimps and shit, and you know that stuff. So it's so much shit I want to get into, and we damn sure gonna get into. We gonna find some goddamn answers in a lot of this shit. So stay tuned to a lot of this shit I'm about to get into. But let me know what y'all think about this, man. Still kind of didn't give us a good answer on it though. But at the end of the day, I guess they saying like, hey, like people scared to change, and I guess they still trying to figure out how our universe was even formed. So, hey y'all, let me know what y'all think, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave some comments in here, and peace, y'all.